They are at the start of their journey, they think outside the box, and they often come up with bright ideas. Their projects are innovative, they are a new generation of business people, and their distinguishing features are creativity and enthusiasm. This is the world of startups, the program about IT developers and the industry of startups. Hello and welcome to the world of startups, the program about the news in the IT industry. More and more people are thinking about starting their own businesses, and our program is to help you with advice, ideas and with workable solutions to help you make your dreams come true. Watch in this episode. Kazakhstani participants at Kickstarter. Find out who managed to raise money to develop cultural projects through crowdfunding. The new Steve Jobs, that's how the world media call Mark Dillon, is opening the Yolla smartphone shops in Kazakhstan. Digitalize. New trends in the development of digital technologies. What sort of gadgets will make our life even easier than now? Find out in our review. Mark Dillon, known as the new Steve Jobs, participated in the opening of the Yolla smartphone store in Kazakhstan. The team of startuppers released the innovative device just 6 months ago. They started selling it online. Kazakhstani representatives expressed their desire to be the first to represent the brand offline and luckily got Yolla's permission to open the first showroom in Kazakhstan and the first one in the whole world. Watch the details of the presentation of the store in the news. A masterclass on how to use a new mobile device from its developer Mark Dillon was a unique opportunity for the brand's potential Kazakhstani customers in the first showroom for the Yolla smartphones. Almaty was the starting point in Kazakhstan, where the first shop from the Yolla chain shops selling Finnish mobile phones opened. And as the founder of Yolla says, it's a great day in his life.
We worked first with an operator called DNA, and then we also have an online channel where we've been selling the phones throughout Europe. And then the next operator was actually in Estonia, but this is the next one, and we have some others to announce in the future, but Kazakhstan is the thing today. This is Mark Dillon for the Sailfish operating system running on Yolla.
The team worked for Nokia for 10 years, where it was involved in developing the MIGO operational system. But at the end of 2013, the corporation had to stop working on this project. Then the team registered their own startup for developing their own systems, called Yolla. The new smartphone has advantages over its rivals such as data personalization, information security and the price policy that aims at the mass market. The mobile phones and the soft have an open code, which leaves the room for enthusiast creativity.
Yolla came together to make something new, make something exciting, and to work with people in order to give them things that they wanted and they needed. The people of Yolla.
Yolla means a boat in Finnish. The developers call themselves sailors. At the presentation of the mobile phone showroom, Mark Dillon was wearing a sailor's striped vest to be in keeping with the philosophy of the brand, anyone's free choice in the ocean of mobile devices. The Wikicity social directory that has been functioning in Kazakhstan for 3 years is now looking for investors. The website that is used by 330,000 people and visited by millions of internet users every month in 5 cities of Kazakhstan is going to expand across the country. The developing of the website requires funding. That's what the founders of the resource are currently preoccupied with, the money for the project. The resource is planned to appear in every Kazakhstani city or settlement that has the population not less than 100,000 people. Apart from that, the resource will extend the categories of the search, extend the number of employees and its presence on the World Wide Web. We have already proved to be viable. Our website has already signed agreements on advertisements, which have been selling so far quite well. We don't observe a sharp increase in revenues yet. Our purpose now is to increase the presence of our website in many resources and its influence. We are now looking for investors. This will allow us to develop faster and increase the influence of the project. If this happens, we will hire up to 10 people more. The largest world crowdfunding platform, Kickstarter, has already raised money for several projects from Kazakhstan, and most money went to cultural projects, which is particularly delightful. Surprisingly, the founders managed to get the adequate funding. We talk about some of such projects in the funding. first project was launched by a young American woman, Hannah Herr. She went to Mongolia all the way from New York in 2012, thanks to the Fulbright grant program. During 10 months, the artist and designer studied the influence of the Kazakh fine arts on the formation of Mongolia's Kazakh people's national identity as an ethnical minority group. The girl was impressed by their handicrafts and wanted to tell the whole world about them. The gift edition was planned to be published in cooperation with a Japanese colleague, Chiko Hirota, so the book will be published in both English and Japanese. It tells about the Kazakh culture, the development of handicrafts, as well as about the Kazakh ornament techniques. The girls needed $4,000 to make a final trip to Mongolia to do interviews and make photos. They easily managed to raise the money. The second project is an American people's jazz band Moindao, which means understanding in Kazakh. In their music, they reflect the relation between Central Asian folk music, jazz, modern classic music, rock and improvisations. The band is a quartet, the saxophone, the cello and drums. Their music is a fresh insight into the music accompaniment of the Kazakh poems. The founders were raising $6,000 for a trip to Kazakhstan and Kyrgyzstan in 2012 to give benefit concerts to support orphan children and strengthen intercultural relationships. Also, the musicians published a book on their trip across Central Asia. Those who funded the trip got various gifts from the band, from mentioning the donators' names in the book to songs specially written to them and a private concert in the donator's home in a token of appreciation. A few years ago, it seemed odd to reflect on everything internet users do during the day on social networks such as Facebook and Instagram. But today, the borderline between private and public lives is often not clear. Digital technologies have made our life more transparent. Life logging, also known as e-memory, is a popular trend among progressive, high-tech oriented Americans. Find out about this phenomenon in the trends. There is no precise definition for the term life logging. A simple explanation of what life logging is may be a digital record of what a person does, which may include a lot of aspects such as photographs and videos, email archives, audio records of conversations, medical checkup records, and many other kinds of information that can be turned into a digital record. The founder of this movement is Steve Mann, who experimented with portable computers in the early 80s. Since 1994, he has been recording his life in the real-time online. Steve also founded the life logging community that has hundreds of thousands of members from around the world now.
Well, 28 years ago, I approached the CNIB, the Canadian National Institute for the Blind, and I showed them this invention, and I said, hey, you know, this helps people see better. You know, would you be interested in it? And at the time, they weren't really that interested in it, but eventually I did get the CNIB to use some of my technology. The technology that they're now using, one of my inventions that's being used by the CNIB, is the hydraulophone.
Digital devices have been recording our life for quite a long time. Cars have video cameras that record every move. CCTVs in shops and airports are watching us. GPS navigators know about our recent locations. The information in our email boxes has been kept for the past 10 years. Your medical history records have been kept since the day of your birth. We scan important paper documents and keep the copies on computers. We hold records on Facebook, blogs and forums. There is one more little step forward left: to unify all the digital data as one log. Technology is ready for that, and people are almost prepared for that too. The World Wide Web is full of records about future dates and proposals which are made by such gadgets as SenseCam from Microsoft. The World Wide Web is full of records about future dates and proposals which are made by such gadgets as SenseCam from Microsoft, Review, super popular equipment from Luxi, and the project from Kickstarter Mimoto. The practice of life logging is expected to be introduced outside the US due to the start of the sales of the Google Glass device. Well, that's all we've got time for today. Leave your comments and suggestions on the social networks. See you next week.